interval between kirtans. Thanks to everyone for coming. Sunday evening in Spanish Fort, Utah. This is our email address if you'd like to give us your correspondence, comments, and feedback. We also have a website for more information, utahchristans.org. Everything is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder and chair of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Today we'd like to talk about being firm and steady. Actually, our subtitle is The Secret Is Steadiness. And we all have things that we're waiting on. Waiting for a dream to come to pass, waiting for our health to improve, waiting for this pandemic to be over, waiting for the right person. And when it's taking longer than we thought, we don't see anything changing, and it's easy to get discouraged and think that, well, maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it was not meant to be after all. Can I tell you tonight that what Krishna or God promised you is en route? That waiting period is just a test. Are you going to get discouraged? Quit believing? Or are you going to keep traveling? Keep moving forward. Keep praying. Keep thanking Krishna. Keep being your best at work. Keep being good to other people, even when they're not being good to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Our message tonight is there's power in doing the right thing consistently. You're not moved by what's not changing. You consistently have a good attitude. You're not up one day and down 2 days. You're consistently in a good mood. You don't work hard for a month and then slack off the next month. You're consistently, day after day, month after month, excellent. Everything may not be perfect. You're dealing with challenges, but you are not complaining. You are consistently thanking Krishna, consistently declaring His promises, consistently expecting His favor. Krishna never, ever, ever in any scripture of the world promised that things would turn around overnight. There'll always be a waiting period. The key is don't be impatient. Krishna rewards faithful people, people that keep doing the right thing. Krishna said to King Yudhishthira in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, quote, "My devotee is not deterred by any adverse conditions of life. He always remains firm and steady. Therefore, I give myself," this is God speaking, "I give myself to him and I favor him so that he or she can achieve the highest success of life." I think you'll agree with me that the only thing that's holding some people back is the consistency. What would happen if you would consistently get to work on time, consistently treat your spouse with respect, consistently exercise, and consistently put God first place? There are talented, attractive, well-connected people everywhere. Everywhere. They're all over. Peppered throughout your community, throughout your friend groups. They're freaking amazing in some areas, but rarely is any of them a consistent person. That's why eventually they're going to fail. That's why you're going to succeed. The answer is that consistent people are extremely rare. Therefore, if you can cultivate consistency in your walk with Krishna, you will eventually beat any talent, luck, skill, and even quality just by being consistent. The problem with consistency is it can be boring and tedious. And that's why so few people ever master anything. Hal Enrod in the famous Miracle Morning Chronicle says, "Talent is intimidating, talent is scary, it makes you feel insecure, it makes you feel not good enough, but there's a ton of gold down there. Are you willing to shovel and repetitively keep shoveling until you hit the goal?" If you've never heard of Matthew Dellavedova, you're not alone, because he was only the second string point guard in the Cleveland Cavaliers during the NBA Finals some years ago. Dellavedova had been an average player throughout his entire career. He had the unenviable task of guarding the Warriors' Stephen Curry, who was the league's MVP that year. Now, obviously, he was way outmatched in talent. Nevertheless, he was determined to outwork Curry. He dove for loose balls, threw his body into far bigger defenders, got smashed up all game. He guarded Curry as if his life depended on it. And through sheer effort, Dellavedova stopped Curry that night. The Cavaliers won. He'd faced a far superior talent and won by simply outworking him. He was so exhausted, he had to be hospitalized that night in order to recover. That is what outworking talent looks like. That's what outlasting luck looks like. Many talented people rely on their charisma, their magnetism, their God-given abilities to succeed, but their luck will eventually run out without consistency. Their laziness will eventually be exposed by an individual that's willing to outwork anyone. When you're consistent, one symptom is that you're not ruled by your feelings. Why? Because our feelings will be up one day and they'll be down the next. Feelings would have told that person off, given them a piece of my mind. Feelings would eat the whole gallon of ice cream. Feelings would sit around in self-pity. Don't let those feelings ruin your life. Why? Because you have a destiny to fulfill, an assignment for you to accomplish. You have to put your foot down and say, feelings, you are not going to control me. I'm going to control you. I'm going to make decisions that honor God and Krishna. I'm going to do the right thing when it's hard. I'm going to go to work when I don't feel like it. I'm going to treat those people with respect, even though they don't deserve it. If you will keep being consistent, you're going to see Krishna, God, show out in your life. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One devotee said we should always be abounding in the work of the Lord. What can you say about yourself that's always? Are you always worried? Are you always late? Are you always hot-tempered? Well, why don't you change your always? That's a word. If you're consistent in the wrong areas, it's going to keep you from your destiny. I know some people who are real devotees, and their circumstances aren't perfect. They have challenges, but they're always joyful, always encouraging, always at the temple, always chanting their rounds, always helping others. They've made the choice that they're going to keep moving forward. If you do that, Krishna has awesome things in your future. But the only way you're going to see them is if you keep being consistent. Not moved by what's not happening, not discouraged because it's taking longer, not slacking off because you don't see any sign of it on the horizon. When you travel steadily, you're going to come into blessings and favor because of your faithfulness. Not because you had great talent, great courage, because you were good looking, but because you kept doing the right thing. Don't coast on talent alone. Let me remind you of the responsibility that you have to honor your gift. And if you're not that good, if you feel that you're not that gifted, here's good news. You can get better. Odds are you're not yet your best self. You still need time to develop your skills and talent. Well, consistency is what's going to make you do that. Consistency will make you incredible. It will make you world class. In the words of Chuck Close, quote, things will grow out of the activity itself, and you will, through work, bump other possibilities into being and kick open doors that you would have never dreamt of if you were just sitting around trying to think up a great idea. Many of you have already been doing this. You consistently made decisions that honor Krishna, sacrificing to raise those children, putting your own dream on hold. You stayed faithful in that marriage that's difficult. You've been your best at that job, going your extra mile. You've started every day by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can I tell you, your time is coming. Krishna's about to do something unusual. promotion that will thrust you to a new level. That problem that you struggled with for years is about to suddenly turn around, and it's going to happen sooner than you think. In a book called Keeping Pace, Ernest Fitzgerald, he relays the true story of a magazine company which several years ago purchased a new computer. Its purpose was to compile data and send out subscription notices to customers whose subscriptions had lapsed. One day, something went wrong with the machine, and before the error was discovered, about a month later, a certain rancher in Colorado received 9,374 notices that his subscription had expired. Someone in the magazine office posted the letter the company received from him. Inside was a check for 1 year's subscription with a handwritten note saying, "I give up, send me the magazine." He was won over by the consistent, persistent apparent attention. Now, because you have stayed faithful, consistent, you're not going to have to make it happen. Blessings are going to find you. The right people are going to track you down. Healing is going to come knocking at your door. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Just don't be impatient to try to hurry God along. Those dreams that He placed in your heart, they're still on schedule. The promises that He whispered to you in the night, they're still out there in your future. And sometimes the reason it's taking so long is that what Krishna has planned for you is bigger than you could have ever imagined. It's getting ready for you to carry the weight of the blessing, the weight of the influence. And as you keep moving steadily forward, you're getting stronger. Your faith is growing. Your character is being developed. And when Krishna gives you a promise, there will always be a waiting period. What we do while we're waiting determines whether the promise will come to pass. If we wait discouraged, upset, why is this taking so long? And we're going to get stuck where we are. You can be anointed, but not yet appointed. That's pretty cute, huh? You can be anointed, but not yet appointed. Why? You'll have to go through a season of proving, a season of testing. Will you do the right thing when you're not getting your way? Will you keep serving others when you know you have more in you? And in order to see promises come to pass, you have to keep progressing steadily. You have to do the right thing even when nobody is watching. You have to do the best even when you're not getting the credit. You have to thank Krishna even when the doors are not opening. When Krishna puts a promise in your heart, no matter who tries to stop you, no matter how big the giants are, no matter how fair it is, nor how long it's been, if you just keep moving forward, passing the tests, not bitter because people did you wrong, not giving up because it's taking a long time, not slacking on because things aren't improving, then Krishna is going to give you the victory. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. You're going to move the wrong people out of the way, give you the favor to defeat giants. He'll make ways where you don't see a way. The key is, don't be impatient. It may not happen as fast as you'd like. Wait is a test. You have to prove to Krishna that you'll be faithful in care of the little before Krishna entrusts you with the much. This is from a classic Dr. Seuss book. Anyone ever read it when they were a kid? I didn't. It's called Horton Hears a Who. Anyone know that one? Yeah, the story is Horton the elephant hears a cry for help from a little speck of dust. He can't see anyone in this speck, but nevertheless he decides to respond to the cry. And it turns out that on that speck of dust, there's a whole city of Whos who live in their city of Whoville. Horton agrees to protect the Whos in their home Whoville, and this gets him nothing but derision and ridicule and criticism from his neighbors who refuse to believe that anything could survive on that little tiny speck. But Horton persists. Horton's consistent. Horton stands by the model that, quote, after all, a person is a person no matter how small. And that's his code. And through many trials and tribulations, as you know, you've read it, Horton perseveres, saying, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant is faithful 100%. Those times that you were doing the right thing and nothing was improving, that was a proving season. You have to show Krishna. You're not going to get discouraged. You're not going to give up on your dream. You're not going to let what didn't work out cause you to lose your passion. You may know that you're anointed. You may know that Krishna's put promises in your heart. He's spoken things to you, but he's not quite yet appointed you. And in that lapse, in that hiatus, it may be easy to get discouraged. But if you do want to go from anointed to appointed, then you have to keep thanking Krishna. Even when you don't see anything happen. Praising when you could be complaining. Coming to the temple when you feel like staying home. Keep being good to people who aren't being good to you. If you're not being moved by what's not working out, but you keep doing the right thing, then you're going to go from anointed to appointed. You're going to come out of the pit into the palace. And maybe you're doing the right thing for a long time. You don't see any growth. You've been praying, you've been believing, working hard. Things still aren't improving. Don't get discouraged by what's not changing. Don't slack off because it hasn't happened yet. Keep doing the right thing consistently. Why? Because Krishna knows the past from the present, from the future. He's not forgotten about you. What he promised is still out there. Just pass the faithfulness test. Prove to him that you're not going to quit. You're not going to get out. You're not going to get talked out of it. If you'll keep moving forward, Krishna will give you the victory. It's going to be easier than you thought. Yes, waiting can be difficult, but when you come into favor, things are going to fall into place. Click, snap, promotion, healing, increase that will thrust you to a new level. Before going into exile for 14 years, Ram folded his hands and spoke to his mother, as recounted in the great epic Ramayana. O mother, remain devoted to the king and ensure that he does not suffer excessive grief, leading a holy life by the time until I return. And when you finally see me duly installed as king and dedicated to your service, you shall achieve all that you desire. Ram said, it will come, everything, but not for 14 years. And although Kaushali was obviously crestfallen at being separated from her son, Ram, who was unfairly treated and sent into exile for 14 years, still his words gave her delight. It was clear that she couldn't change his mind. He was going to honor the words of his father and go into the forest. But through her tears, she said, go then with my blessings, my heroic son. May good betide you always. My misery will end only when you again return from the forest after 14 years and offer me words of greeting. If only that time were already arrived. But since it hasn't, I'm going to have a steady mind, following in the footsteps of the righteous. Go ahead, do your duty, repay your debt to your father, and come back to be the king and taste ultimate triumph and victory after a waiting period of 14 years. Sometimes we get frustrated because we're trying to control things that only Krishna or God can control. Trying to figure out something for which there is no answer right now. That's when you get frustrated. Toss and turn 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Good news is that Krishna or God doesn't ask us to figure everything out. You have to know what's your job, and you have to know what's Krishna's job. Our job is to believe. Our job is to thank the Lord. Our job is to walk in obedience. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna's job is to work things out that we can't work out. We're not on our own. The creator of millions and millions of universes is working out his plan for your life. His job is to open doors that we can't open. His job is to heal sick bodies. His job is to make things happen that we can't happen. And we might be frustrated because we're trying to do Krishna's job. Can I ask you to take the pressure off? You don't have to make everything happen. You just have to keep moving forward, staying faithful, being good to people, keeping Krishna first place. You don't have to struggle, strive, manipulate things, try to force it to work out. It's going to be easier than you think. Things are going to fall into place. The right doors are going to open. The right people show up. That school called you with the scholarship. The medical report says the cancer has completely disappeared. And it's easy to follow Krishna when you have clear direction. It's easy to follow and be faithful when things are going your way. But the real test is, how do you respond when Krishna is silent? You don't hear anything. You're doing the right thing, but it's not improving. You're being your best, but doors aren't opening. Months have gone by, maybe years, and you don't hear anything. Here's the key. Keep doing the last thing that Krishna told you to do. Setam, Tesham, Satad, Yuktanam. Keep being consistent. Keep being faithful. Why? Because Krishna rewards faithful people. Krishna rewards people that don't give up. People that don't let a disappointment cause them to be sour. People that don't let a setback, a loss, a delay to stop their destiny. When things happen that we don't understand, our attitude should be, Lord, thank you that you're working behind the scenes, fulfilling the plan of my life. Thank you, Lord, that you are my guiding light, that you are ordering my steps. You're opening doors that no man can shut. Thank you that you're going to get me to where I'm supposed to be. Don't let a bad break, a pandemic, a delay, a person that did you wrong cause you to quit believing in your dreams, quit pursuing what Krishna put in your heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When God created each and every one of us, He filled us up with can-do power. That spirit that flung stars into the sky, that created universe, He lives in your heart. You are not weak. You are a warrior now. Dig in your heels and be consistent. Not just when everything is going your way. Not just when business is flourishing, but when the door closes, when the contract doesn't go through, when the journey is longer than you thought. Krishna's looking for people who are determined, people that have stamina. You can't be weak and reach your destiny. You can't be half-hearted and become who you were created to be. Years ago, before personal scanners and printers, a young male college student walked into a photography studio with a framed picture of his girlfriend. He wanted the picture duplicated. The photo had to be removed from the frame, and in doing this, the studio owner noticed the inscription on the back of the photograph. My dearest Tom, I love you with all my heart. I love you more and more each day. I will love you forever and ever. I am yours for all eternity. It was signed Diane. Then there was a P.S. If we ever break up, I want this picture back. Krishna will be silent at times. You don't hear anything, things are not improving, doors are opening. What are you supposed to do? Just keep faithful, keep getting to work on time, keep singing kirtan, keep being good to those neighbors, keep thanking Krishna when you don't feel like complaining. If it was going to happen instantly, you wouldn't have needed any faith. Don't be impatient for Krishna. Just because you had a setback, someone walked away, the medical report isn't good, you had a pandemic, it doesn't mean that your dream is not going to come to pass. And what Krishna promised you cannot be stopped by people, by circumstances, or by bad breaks. My question is, are you going to keep moving steadily forward? Are you going to keep believing, keep praying, keep chanting? Krishna doesn't always do things the way we plan. His ways are not our ways. If you don't stay open, you're going to get frustrated, upset because the door didn't open. Can I tell you, God knows what He's doing? When it's time to birth your baby, all the forces of darkness cannot keep you out. There will be a place and a time for you to shine, for you to flourish, to show this world what Krishna put inside of you. Now, Quit worrying about who wouldn't let you in, why this didn't work out. It wasn't fair. Your increase, your favor, your abundance is not in where you've been. It's in where Krishna is taking you. It's not in the rear view mirror. It's through the windshield. Now do your part. Keep moving forward in faith. Not bitter over disappointments. Not discouraged over what didn't work out. Not upset because it's taking longer, that there were delays and detours. Krishna is saying to you tonight, if you keep traveling steadily, being faithful when nobody is noticing, doing the right thing when it's uncomfortable, not complaining when you don't see things changing, then you're going to give birth to dreams bigger than you've imagined. Krishna is going to do uncommon, unusual, extraordinary things. Nothing that has happened to you is a surprise to Krishna. It's ordering your steps. If that door closed, it was supposed to close. If that person walked away, they were supposed to walk away. Don't get bitter. Keep traveling steadily. Keep doing the right thing. Keep being good to people. Keep expecting. Keep believing. Now, my challenge is tonight, stay consistent. Don't be ruled by your feelings. Make up your mind. You're not going to be moved by what's not changing. Not discouraged over how long it's taking. You're going to keep doing the right thing. You're going to prove to God that you're going to be faithful. If you'll keep moving steadily forward, honoring Krishna, making good decisions, I believe Krishna is going to give you the victory. Open the doors, bring new opportunities, problems are going to turn around, healing, freedom, favor, the fullness of your destiny in this life, the next life, back to home, back to God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. You got your breath back, guy? Please, stand up here. You're welcome to stand up, move forward, join us in the front for Jai Krishna, Hare Krishna Kirtan. Thank you. Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Gauda Vaishnava Vrinda